Will a smart TV work without internet connection? Yes. Short answer, smart TVs work just fine without the internet. You don't need an internet connection. You'll be able to watch TV channels with a cable box or an antenna. You can use Blu-ray, DVD players, speakers. All that will work fine, just like a regular TV. The key distinction being that you will not be able to use video streaming apps that come along with the smart TV user interface. So Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, those services will be unavailable to you because you're not connecting your TV to the internet. So what can a smart TV do that a regular TV can't do? We just talked about it. You get access to the internet, which gives you access to all of these new streaming services that have come out over the last 10 years, Netflix, Disney Plus, Sling, Hulu, amongst many, many others. You have to pay for a lot of these separately for premium content. But if you have a smart TV, you get access to this. If you have a smart TV that you want to use without the internet, you will not get access to this. Another key piece here is that a lot of the newer smart TVs, they have all those apps, but they also have voice recognition. A lot of them are integrated with Amazon Alexa or Google Home devices. And so you can actually turn your TV on and off with your voice. You can change channels and volume. Really nice when you're at home, you don't want to find the clicker or someone else has it. You can just use your voice to operate the TV. And then some of the really nice smart TVs today actually act as smart homes, which means or a smart home platform where you can actually control the rest of your house using your TV. So that's some of the functionality that smart TVs offer. And if you use a smart TV without internet, you will not be able to use that functionality. Which begs the question, why would you buy a smart TV if you don't have an internet connection? The primary reason, smart TVs are what's available today. Vizio, Hisense, Sony, all of these Samsung, all of these TV manufacturers today, they are manufacturing smart TVs because that's what the market wants. That's what the market's demanding. And because they're all producing these smart TVs, the prices come down on them considerably. That's the good news. So, but if you're going to go out and buy a TV, most of the TVs available today are smart TVs. They're internet accessible. Another note about the price, Tom's Guide, they did a comparison. There's maybe $100 difference between a TV that's smart versus one that's not, because adding internet capabilities has just become so affordable and cheap these days. So when you're spending, whether it's a low-end TV for $300 or a high-end one for several $1,000s, the $100 difference of whether it's smart or not is small enough. You should just buy a smart TV, frankly. Why else would you buy a smart TV if you don't plan on using it with the internet? Well, there are additional features that a smart TV offers that are actually kind of nice. Some of them are HDMI ports. Today, a lot of devices connect to your TV. If you have, an Xbox, if you have a cable box, if you have speakers, etc. Having more HDMI ports on the back of the TV is really helpful so that all of those devices can be connected and stay connected. You're not constantly removing one device to add another. A lot of the smart TVs today have better video quality. So even if you're not using the internet, you're going to get a better experience with a smart TV. Moving on, there are a lot of streaming product alternatives. So that's another reason why you might still buy a smart TV, even though you don't plan to use it that way, because you might have Netflix, Hulu, etc. on a laptop or on your phone, and maybe you don't need to use your TV for that because you're already using it. My wife and I watch shows on our laptop all the time together. And so maybe your TV, it's not necessary for your TV to have access to that as well. Or you actually bought your smart TV and you do plan to use it with the internet, but you don't want to use the smart platform that was built with that TV. So Samsung, for example, they use a smart platform called Tizen. The interface isn't that great. It's a little slow, a little laggy. So instead of using their app, Tizen app store, you can still buy the smart TV and then just use a Roku, a Fire Stick, or a Chromecast device because maybe you like that experience better. That happens all the time. People will buy a smart TV and then not use the built-in smart capabilities. They'll buy a third-party device like I just described and use those instead. So what are some concerns when using a smart TV without an internet connection? We talked about cost. Concerns probably a strong word here. I wouldn't be worried about the cost. That gap between a smart TV and a quote-unquote dumb TV is closing by the day. Don't worry too much about the cost. I'd worry more about firmware updates. Smart TVs, if you're not going to connect it to the internet, you're not going to get these firmware updates. And that may not be a problem, but here are some examples of firmware updates from Sony. These are just, I grabbed these randomly from their site, but these updates happen all the time. This update improves the general performance of the TV. So the overall performance of the TV is getting improved with an update. If you're not connected to the internet, you're not getting that update in performance. Update resolves condition where TV restarts after pressing the home button and then the return button. So it's a bug that they actually fixed because it's typically smart TVs are connected to the internet. You'll get that fix if you are. If you're not, you're going to still have that issue with your TV. Or update improves the home screen for better usability and operation. So you get the idea. Basically, the nice thing about a smart TV when it's connected to the internet is it always can be improved. And if there are issues that are found after the TV is sold, typically they can be resolved with a firmware or software update. If you're not connected to the internet, you're not going to get those fixes. The last bit here is rare, but I wanted to just highlight it. Very few TVs do this, but some, when you go to set up your TV for the first time, actually require you to log in and then get a software update that immediately kicks off the TV. If you're not connected to the internet or don't have access to the internet, you might not even be able to use the TV. Rare, but I just wanted to highlight it here. At the bottom here, and I'll put a link to this blog post in the video description, but I show how to connect your TV to the internet, whether you're using Wi-Fi or Ethernet. There's actually an argument to be made to use an Ethernet cable because your connection is more stable if you're close enough. The issue with this is typically the TV you're trying to connect to the internet isn't close enough to your router, and so it's not really feasible. But if it is close enough, I'd take the opportunity to connect it with an Ethernet cord. So I hope that was helpful. Again, the summary is yes, a smart TV works just fine without the internet. You will miss out on some functionality. But if you're not worried about that, it's no big deal. So hopefully you found that helpful. If you did, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a lot. And thank you very much.